have multiple jobs,
Yes.
and yet you took on executive producing this Snoop Dogg Joker's Wild show. How has Snoop been as a collaborator?
He's been great. He's been great. You know what? He watched this show with his grandmother as a kid, and he came on the $100,000 pyramid, and we left that, and he said, I want to do a show. And I'm thinking, okay, the guy's been hanging out with himself too long. You know?
Yeah.
But he brought up Joker's Wild, checked it out, and he's perfect. He loves it. He's into it. He has a lot of fun, and that's really what hosting a game show is about. So I think it's a perfect fit for him.
I will say this because I've seen him work with Martha Stewart. I've seen a little of this. You know, he is somebody who only does stuff he loves. I don't think he would waste time on anything else. You're very similar. You do Good Morning America here in New York, but you also do the Fox Sunday show. So you are in LA on Sunday, and then you take a red eye every Sunday night and come here to go to work.
Yes.
You love working.
I'm insane.
Yeah.
No, you know, honestly, I do love working. I love every job I have is great. And I think because of playing football for 15 years, like everything now is gravy.
Yeah.
And like when people go, oh, it's so hard, I'm thinking, nah, it's not that hard.
Because I've looked at all of your jobs, and none of them is it legal to hit you.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm not blamed when the team loses. I'm not sore the next day. This is great.
That's true. No matter if you guys have a bad episode of Good Morning America, you don't walk off and have somebody be like, "You suck."
Well, yeah, that actually has happened.
Yeah. But it's about the football stuff. It's not about now.
Well, you know,
they're like, you didn't throw to local weather.
Exactly. But people never forget the football. I think a lot of women know me from like daytime TV and all that. They don't know I play football. But for the guys, when I was coming here, I walk out of my house and the guy goes, "What's up with your Giants?" I look and said, "Dude, I haven't played in 10 years. I don't know." Like,
right.
Forget it, dude. I don't have no control.
Yeah. It's not like there's a board of retired players. Who
Exactly. We got to go to the board of retired players to see what's wrong with the team. We want them to win just like everybody else does.
I want to ask you about football. Obviously, it's been a fraught couple of weeks with the non-football side of watching the games. You come from a military family. Your father was a major in the Army,
My
is that
dad's
correct?
retired major in the Army, yeah.
So how do you feel about the president sort of basically dividing this issue and saying to take a knee is this sort of act of anti-patriotism?
Well, I think that everybody has the right to protest. That's what this country is about. You have rights here. First, plain and simple, that's first of all. And I think equating taking a knee with patriotism and being against soldiers and being against the flag, I think that the true meaning of what it was about racial inequality. It was a totally different issue. And I see it now as a distraction away from other issues that are going on in the world. From, you got North Korea, you got in Puerto Rico. You have so many other things going on that you take the time to pick on football or basketball. I just think priorities need to get in order to do what we need to do to make the country better.
It does strike me that, if you're a fan in the stand, some fans have obviously made the choice to boo when players take a knee. It seems though within the locker room, teams have had to address something that is, again, it's non-football related.
Yeah.
And it strikes me that you have to, ideally, you'd put all your energy towards thinking about football and thinking about the game. It also strikes me that, in a football locker room, you have a lot of white guys, you have a lot of black guys. Do you think that they've discussed it in a way that's actually been unifying for them or giving each other a better understanding of their positions?
Absolutely. And when I was playing, we had one white defensive lineman, Dave Tollefson, and he sent all of us, we're on a group text 10 years later. He sent us a group text and he said, "I just want you guys to know that I am with you, that my kids will understand that, everybody's the same. You treat the person for who they are, not by the color of their skin." And it meant a lot for him to send us that. He didn't have to. But I think in a locker room, when you're going through so much stuff outside of football, that's the one place you go where everybody has such an incredible understanding. And it's a team. I need you, you need me to be successful. And I don't care where you're from or what you do or who your religion, your race, anything. We're all here for one common goal. And the locker room's a good, safe place for guys. And I think that's why you saw so many guys come together, so many teams come together to support each other, because it's a special place, and it's very hard to put it into words when you haven't been there. But players support each other when the times are tough. And Colin Kaepernick doesn't have a job now. Everybody thinks he should have a job, but that's up to the owners. But one thing I will say is that it takes a lot for a guy who's making a lot of money, which is what everybody seems to judge somebody by, to put it on the line for people who he does not know, who he owes nothing to, but for him to say something's not right and I'm going to do something about it, and to do something where at the end of the day, people will remember him for that more than sports, which is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, I think you're so right. And I think, we talk a lot about courage in this country and risk. I think what you said is so true, that what's getting lost in this is Colin Kaepernick genuinely did put a lot on the line. He risked a lot.